Welcome back, everybody, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be diving into the world of B2B sales. We're going to be looking at this new approach called SD360. And you can think of it as like our guide to navigating all the complexities
Yeah.
of turning those leads into customers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not just about generating leads anymore, right? Like
Yeah.
the whole landscape of B2B sales, it's changed like dramatically. Now you've got B2B buyers, they're so much more informed.
Yeah.
They do all this research on their own and they've often already like made up their minds about things before they even talk to sales.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that whole early bird gets the worm thing, right? But with B2B sales today, it's almost like Google got there first. So we really got to figure out how to engage these really smart buyers. And that's where this SD360 thing comes in.
Exactly. And, like today's B2B buyer, they expect the same kind of like personalized experience that they're getting as consumers, right? I mean, the research is clear 80% of B2B buying decisions based on the overall experience. So that's a big deal.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got this like more informed, experience-driven buyer. What does that actually mean for sales development teams? Like, what are some of the challenges that they're facing out there?
Well, one of the biggest ones is that whole Google got there first thing. We were just talking about, like, by the time the buyer actually, like, contacts sales, they might be, like, 90% of the way through making their decision already. It's almost like trying to convince someone to switch restaurants after they've already ordered.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. No wonder those traditional sale tactics are struggling.
Right. And on top of that, you've got all this information overload. I mean, buyers are just bombarded with stuff from every direction, emails, webinars, social media, you name it. It's like this constant battle to like cut through the noise and actually get their attention.
And we can't forget about like the decline of cold calling too. With so many people working remotely and everyone being more aware of privacy, it's harder than ever to even get someone on the phone.
Yeah, you're telling me that like that old spray and pray approach, it just doesn't cut it anymore. We need something way more targeted and personalized.
Totally. And even when you do connect with someone, there's often another obstacle, like silo tactics. Sales and marketing are often like operating in their own little bubbles. And that can make it a really disjointed experience for the buyer.
Oh, for sure. Like imagine getting this generic marketing email one day, and then the next day you get this totally random sales call that's so impersonal and disorganized. It's like the company doesn't even understand your needs at all. Yeah, so the question is, how do we actually like overcome these challenges and create a sales approach that actually works for today's B2B buyer? That's where our guide SD360 comes in.
Okay, so you're saying this SD360 is like the answer to all these problems. How does it actually work?
So think of it this way. It's like this holistic approach. It's like this system that connects marketing and sales. Creates this unified, personalized experience for the buyer.
Okay, so instead of having these separate sales and marketing things that might contradict each other, this SD360 thing creates a seamless experience.
That's the goal, yeah. So it combines what we call air cover, which is like all those digital tactics that generate leads and build awareness, with personalized human touch points that kind of nurture those leads and guide them through the sales funnel.
I like this air cover analogy. Can you give me an example of like how that works in practice?
Sure, let's say you're going after IT managers at healthcare companies, right? Your air cover might start with some targeted ads on LinkedIn, showcasing a case study about how your solution helped a similar company streamline their data security.
Okay, so you're grabbing their attention with a success story, showing them you understand their industry.
Yeah.
What else is part of this air cover?
You could also like partner with some industry publications to distribute thought leadership articles or white papers. This helps position your brand as a trusted resource. And then, of course, there's retargeting. If someone clicks on your ad but they don't convert right away, retargeting makes sure your brand stays in front of them while they're browsing other websites.
It's like a little reminder saying, hey, we're still here, and we've got solutions that can help you. So you've got their attention with this air cover. How do you move from those digital interactions to something more personalized?
That's where landing pages and microsites are super important. They bridge the gap between your air cover and those human interactions.
Interesting. So how do they do that?
Well, your LinkedIn ad might have a really catchy headline, but the prospect needs more information before they're ready to buy. So the ad takes them to a landing page with more details about the solution. Maybe they can download a white paper or watch a webinar recording in exchange for their contact info.
Okay, so you're giving them valuable content, and you get to keep the conversation going. What about these microsites you mentioned?
Microsites can be even more immersive, especially for specific types of buyers. Like, let's stick with our IT manager example. You could create a whole microsite dedicated to data security, specifically for healthcare companies. You could put all your relevant content there, blog posts, case studies, white papers, even some interactive tools tailored to their needs.
It's like you're creating this personalized content hub for them.
Okay.
Okay, so now you've got their attention and some basic information. What's the next step?
Now it's time for hyper-personalized emails, and I mean really personalized, using everything you know about the prospect, their industry, their job title, how they've interacted with your content, to craft emails that really speak to them.
So it's not just a generic thank you for downloading our white paper email. You're tailoring the content to their specific interests and problems.
Exactly like you might highlight certain benefits or case studies that align with their role. You could even use their company name in the email. And don't forget about personalizing the subject line and sender name. That can make a huge difference in getting the email opened.
Yeah, all those little details can really add up. It's like getting a handwritten note instead of a mass-produced postcard.
That's a great way to put it. But we can go even further with personalization. By using AI,
AI in sales, this is getting futuristic. How is AI being used to improve these interactions?
okay, imagine you're writing a cold email. Normally, you'd spend hours researching the prospect, trying to find any little thing that could make your message better. Well, with AI tools like ChatGPT and Google Bard, you can automate a lot of that research and personalization.
So AI is like this super-powered research assistant for sales teams.
Exactly. It helps them create more targeted and effective messages. You just feed the AI some basic information about the prospect, like their job title and company size, and it can generate personalized email copy that speaks directly to their needs and challenges.
That's amazing. It saves so much time. Your sales team can focus on building relationships and closing deals instead of getting bogged down in research. What about phone calls? We talked earlier about how cold calling is declining. Does AI have a role to play there too?
Definitely, AI can analyze data about the prospect and suggest talking points that are more likely to resonate. It can even generate a customized script for the call.
So you're not just winging it when you pick up the phone. You've got these AI insights to guide the conversation.
That's right, but it's important to remember, AI is a powerful tool, but it's not a replacement for human judgment. We believe in a human-centric approach. Our copywriters always review and refine the AI-generated content to make sure it sounds natural and aligns with our brand voice.
Yeah, that makes sense. AI is there to enhance, not replace. So we've covered air cover landing pages, microsites,
Yeah.
personalized emails, and the strategic use of AI. What other parts of SD360 are there? Okay, so we've talked a lot about like how this SD360 thing works, all the different pieces and how they fit together. But why is this approach so effective? Like, what are the actual benefits?
Well, one of the biggest benefits is you see higher conversion rates. You know you're nurturing those leads with personalized content and interactions. You're guiding them towards making a decision, but it feels natural. It's all about creating a good experience, making the buyer feel like you understand them and you actually care.
So it's not about like forcing a sale, you're helping them along the way.
Exactly. And when you're converting more leads into customers, you're naturally going to see more revenue coming in. But it's not just about the numbers. This SD360 approach creates a better overall experience for the buyer, and that leads to more brand loyalty. And people are more likely to recommend you to others.
Yeah, it makes sense. A happy customer is more likely to buy from you again, and they'll tell their friends about you.
For sure. And SD360 also helps sales and marketing teams work better together.
So instead of being in their own little silos, they're actually talking to each other and sharing information.
Right, and that creates a more consistent experience for the buyer. And speaking of information, SD360 also gives you all this valuable data about your target audience. You can see what they're interested in, how they behave, what they prefer.
And that's where that data-driven approach really pays off. You can see what's working and what's not, and make adjustments based on real-time information.
Yeah, you're not just guessing anymore. You're making smart decisions based on data. And that helps you reduce waste and save money.
It's like you're fine-tuning a machine,
Yeah.
making everything run as smoothly as possible.
Exactly. And there's one more benefit I wanted to mention. It's especially important for companies that work with channel partners. SD360 can be really helpful for managing those relationships.
Oh, interesting. How so?
It's like giving your partners a set of tools to help them represent your brand and generate leads effectively. Everyone's on the same page with consistent messaging, streamlined workflows, improved lead nurturing.
So you're basically helping your partners be more successful.
Right. And that's good for everyone involved. It's a win-win-win for your business, your partners, and most importantly, your customers.
This has been a really fascinating deep dive into SD360.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that today, if you want to be successful in B2B sales, you need to create a unified, personalized experience for your buyers.
I totally agree. And SD360 gives you a way to do that in a way that's measurable, scalable, and ultimately more human.
And we talked about how 80% of B2B buying decisions are based on the buyer experience. So we all need to be asking ourselves, are we doing everything we can to make that experience amazing?
That's the million-dollar question. And SD360 can help you find the answer.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the future of B2B sales. We'll see you next time.